Hello everyone, we'll be playing Blue Black Tempo today, and I've been playing this list since the start of the season. So we have here our threats, main threats. We have Tamiyo, which is from MHG, Nethergoyf, and Psychic Frog. And we have Eternal Format staple, Orcish Bowmasters, which basically keeps other decks honest since Treasure Cruise is legal in this format and Brainstorm is legal in this format. And we have interactive spells such as Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek, Fatal Push, Drown in the Loch, acting as permission and an answer at the same time. Mana Drain, a more busted counterspell, which usually draws you lures for free. We're running 18 plus 2 lands, so that's 20. We have 3 tap lands here. So we're basically running a 17 untapped land list, which is pretty fine for a low to the ground deck like this. So some usual play patterns you want to see is to play a discard spell on your opponent, look for answers to your threats, and if they are limited, you can get the removal spells and then land a frog on turn 2. That is a very powerful play that usually can run away with games. Alternatively, you could play defense by having Nethergoyf or Tamiyo as your first turn play, or even discard spells, just ruin their curve. That does a lot. Now, this is a deck that tests sequencing, mulligan decisions, and playing to your outs. So if you'd like to practice that, would recommend this deck to you. But if you just want to have easy games or win fast, this is not the deck for you. This has pretty much an even matchup for everything, but depending on the pilot, it might be harder for some matchups and easier for some. It really depends on how you construct the deck and how you play the deck. So some things in here might not work for someone else. Maybe you're a type that wants to play reactively. So instead of discard spells, you chose to run spell snares or spell pierce, and that is fine. If that is how you want to play your game, that is completely fine. I don't think um discard spells or counter spells in this slot. I don't think there's a strictly correct card to play. Like if you want to play Thoughtseize, go ahead and play Thoughtseize. If you want to play Spell Snare, you can go ahead and play Spell Snare. But my reasoning for this is you usually really want to use your mana on turn 1. And there are just times that you might have Spell Snare in this slot or Spell Pierce, and you basically skip your turn 1 on the play because these are reactive spells. So these spells are worse on the play, but on the draw, these are heaven sent. And these cards are fine on both sides since you can usually ruin their curve or plan with discard spells, and you can get use that information to line up your answers however you want. So changes from the last video, it's basically just mystical dispute to spell pierce. I found that I wanted more answers to Blood Moon, to Fable or Beans, which is more common. Mr. Dispute basically only answers show and tell, Teferi, Narset, Frog, Tamiyo, and those are already answered by the other stuff in the deck. And Spell Pierce kind of also hits those things. So I think this is the better card for the slot. For matchups, I think Boros is actually pretty easy once you get used to the play patterns. You kind of want to prioritize your removal spells on Guide of Souls. You want to counter their turn 2 play. You can let a Pride run away sometimes since you have Tamiyo. And if you have Tamiyo and you have this flip, all the tokens are basically irrelevant. You can also ping the cat with the Orcish Bowmasters. But anyway, the bad cards in that matchup is usually Inquisition of Kozilek and Thoughtseize. These are discard spells. You're usually on the back foot and on the controlling side of that matchup. So you don't really want these to get removal spells. Sometimes you can run away with games with Inquisition into Frog and have them on the back foot the entire game. But most of the time, you really want to take the control role by having Spell Snare, Stern Scolding, Spell Pierce, and Thirst instead of relying on discard spells. And that also explains why we have a 2-2 split on Inquisition of Kozilek and Thoughtseize here. Each point of life matters in that matchup. So if you're up against Boros and you have 4 Thoughtseize, you're basically putting a handicap on yourself by having 4 Thoughtseize in your deck. Now there are emerging energy variants, the Mardu or the Birthing Ritual variants, which are harder to predict, but it's usually just Spell Snare, the Birthing Ritual, Spell Snare, the Chthonian Nightmare. For the Mardu matchup, you might want unlicensed, for example, or in normal Boros, Stone of Erech will do great, or rather, Stone of Erech and Cling to Dust should do fine. But if they're heavier on the graveyard synergies, Curse really does matter. The Birthing Ritual variants are pretty rare, but I would guess you'd have to have more Spell Snares and Scoldings for that matchup. And we're naturally favored against Show and Tell since we have 4, 6, 10. We have 10 cards to interrupt their combo. And we have a pretty fast clock with Nethergoyf and Psychic Frog. The scam matchup is favored due to us having an overall better card quality outside of these 4 discard spells, which are generally bad against scam decks. And Beans is a pretty hard matchup since you can't make them use their mana awkwardly since most of their stuff is free since they're playing elementals. The one thing you must counter is Beans. So you want Spell Snare in that matchup and Spell Pierce, prioritizing getting Beans over everything because they do run out of cards if you manage to hit Beans. The control matchup is a skill testing matchup, and when I'm talking about control, it's Jeskai or Demir, and you usually have to play out of your comfort zone You have to make them have answers. You're basically just forcing them a lot to have answers. You can't really wait out the games or play the control role in those matchups since our overall card quality is worse than their deck. Anyway, let's play some games with this deck. Let's play first. You see that they're on Giganta, which probably means they're on energy. We're going first, and this is a one lander. So this is a mulligan. This is a better hand. This is a bit on the proactive side. Let's start off with a bubble on ourselves first to fix our next draw. I don't want a land next turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and play Inquisition here. I want to play Inquisition here because I want to see what they're on first. So it looks like it's Zoo. We're going to take Wild Nahuatl. Lightning Bolt is pretty dead against my 3-4 Nethergoyf. So that too, if there were on energy and I landed in Nethergoyf, this dies to a bolt or a discharge. Now I should just play Nethergoyf, play Watery Grave tapped. Alternatively, I could Tamiyo and have Brainstorm up, but I think I'm going to do that this turn instead. Fetch is a good. Oops. Oh my. That's a punt. So try not to do that. Let's just play another Nethergoyf. I was going to Tamiyo and then hold up Brainstorm. Let's see. I think I'm supposed to do nothing here. Maybe just play out the Tamiyo so that they use the bolt. We're going to counter anything here. Aurelius iteration. That's weird. Avu is a good one for them. Let's play this tap. Deploy Nethergoyf as a blocker. They could take the sorcery out. I'm just gonna take 5. This point, let's just check their next draw. A brawler. We're gonna hope to draw into a fatal push here. Okay, we lost. For Zoo, we want Bloodchief and we're on the play. Spell Snare is good here. Thinking about Scolding. Nightmare goes away. That's for the control matchups. Fling to Dust doesn't really do much here. It does heal us for 3 life. Let's get the Thoughtseize out. Inquisition is fine. Yeah, I think this is good. The life gain from Cling to Dust is neat, but we're probably at a losing spot at that point if we're using it to heal ourselves. This is a fine hand. The Mystic Sanctuary makes it a bit weird, but we're going to start with a Tamiyo because we're going to brainstorm on turn 2 anyway to find another land. But attack first, get the token, play brainstorm, hopefully hold up. Perfect. Hold up Spell Snare here. What we don't want at the moment is the other brainstorm, but honestly, I could use the brainstorm. So I won't fetch here. That's nice. That's pretty nice. That's neat. Let's draw a card first. Then let's brainstorm here. Okay, perfect. Let's get the pushback. You're getting another rest in peace. Let's uptick Tamiyo. I think I want to start attacking here. That resolves, which kind of sucks. Let's attack first, then play Treasure Cruise. 6, 7. Now I'm just going to brainstorm looking for a land. Okay. I don't think I need the other Nethergoyf and sinks to Stupor. Or maybe Mystic Sanctuary. Let's get back a Brainstorm. Play Tamiyo. This sets up for our next turn. Let's push. Okay, now we're on the draw. Might be a good idea to have Spell Pierce and a Stern Scolding. Well, actually, Yeah, instead of the discard spell pierce and a Stern Scolding should do fine. Kind of afraid of an Oko here. We're not sure if they have that. This is a not so good hand because we don't have interaction. We're on the draw. This is better. I should probably bottom the Treasure Cruise. Okay, there's the Treasure Cruise. So now I'm just going to fix my next draw. I don't want that, so let's just play out a Watery Grave untapped. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to brainstorm here. We don't have any way to manipulate the top of our deck, so it's better to get information with the Bauble now. Okay, this is a pretty good hand so far. Oh, cool. Okay, that was what I was afraid of. I think at this point we have to look for counter spells. Sewers and Tarn probably go back. This kind of feels like a fatal push turn. Okay. Yep. Definitely a fatal push turn. Think I discard this. Then let's just flip the Tamiyo here. Get information. They're getting a pending. They only have one white source, so they can't pending and they can't pending and leyline at the same turn. They can tribal flames Tamiyo. Okay, so they can do both. This point, we don't want that. Just get Lurrus. Okay, so they decided to go for the control route. It's pretty troublesome, I guess. Hmm. I'm going to go for double Bowmasters. Let's take this hit. Pavu. Let's see. We could still double Bowmasters, kill this. Oh shoot, that attack was bad. Okay, guess we could frog here. Actually, let's brainstorm. Get rid of two lands. Play Nethergoyf. Just apply pressure. They could try to swap Oko for Psychic Frog. Hmm. I think we're fine with this. Let's get a swamp. Could bounce Giganta, but I don't think that's a winning line. I think the winning line here is to make them misplay. If they decide to exchange the food with Lurrus, I could bounce the food. We can attack all with to Oko for 7, 10, 11. Yep, that's fine. That's okay. This is tough. That's fine. Let's see their next draw. Let's rest in peace. That will be a problem. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to mana drain this. Nice. Against another Giganta deck, we don't have a way to flip Tamiyo fast. This is a Bowmasters. They are going first. This is a grindy card. So, let's mulligan. This is a bit better. I guess the question now is, do I want Treasure Cruise or not? Yeah, I'm going to be a bit greedy here. Looks like borrows energy. A guide of soul start. I think I have to start with Inquisition of Kozilek here. Just prevent them from having the nuts. Okay, let's take the Amp Raptor. They're playing a more grindy version, so Cling to Dust will be useful here. Holy shit, okay. That's an unfortunate sequence of events. I guess we could still press on. Let's get a swamp. Chthonian Nightmare. Okay, push the Ajani. They make both of these flying, and we're dead. Okay, so against Mardu energy, you want Spell Snare, Stern Scolding, Spell Pierce, Sweepers, Stone. Don't want the discard spells. We need Bloodchief thirst. Chthonian Nightmare is pretty useless here. Cut down on some mana drain. Since they're on this variant, they have Bowmasters. And I might want unlicensors. We still have to cut two things here. I guess a Bauble couldn't hurt. Is it actually just Tamiyo? Yeah, I think I trimmed down on Tamiyo here. I can't protect this reliably. Then let's cut down a Bowmasters, I guess. Let's play first. This is a fine hand. We're going to go Stone first, then Spell Pierce, and Nethergoyf. The question is, do I fetch basics? It's probably safe not to fetch basics. I have Pierce up. And actually, there are three colors. They're unlikely to have Blood Moon here. Okay. I guess we're going for Bowmasters here. So you usually want to deploy Nethergoyf when you can protect it, or it goes out of a discharge range. So I just chill. I think I just play the Nethergoyf. Hold Spell Pierce up. Let's use the Spell Pierce. Now I feel that they're out of removal spells. We can deploy Frog. I think we can Brainstorm. Okay. New plan then. We check the next card. It's a Bowmasters. Push the Sorin. Let's attack first. Okay. Then let's just play the Psychic Frog. Might be discarding Brainstorm. Okay. That is annoying. Let's play the Bowmasters. Then let's exile. One, two, three. Let's just draw a card here. Hold up Spell Snare. Let's just counter that. I guess they could do that. Oh, let's Brainstorm first. Okay, Treasure Cruise found. Think we can win here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, so Tamiyo kinda gets weaker here since they aren't as reliant on Ocelot Pride. They're more of a weird burn deck with bombardment. Now on the draw, I think we just stay the same. Yeah, I'm good with this configuration. This is a fine hand that can stop them. Let's just play the Watery Grave. Amulet gets snared. I guess we could go if here. They could go for the galvanic discharge, and I could respond with brainstorm. Now it's pretty important that we sweep the board here. So I'm just going to brainstorm. Okay, we failed to hit the land, but we did find a hate piece. I'm just going to push Bowmasters. Hopefully they don't know the Stone of Erech interaction. A pretty bad spot for us. They can attack with Raptor. I guess Ajani is a free block here. Okay, pretty intense here. Curse is such a good card. Okay, probably just should just play another frog. And I'm going to eat whatever Curse is going to get. No attacks. Toxic Deluge and Delta. They could Arena of Glory Giganta. Looks like they will. Then let's just exile our whole graveyard. Think we hang back here. And here is why I don't like Tamiyo in this matchup. Okay, that's actually a good draw. Hmm. I think we just pass. Okay, that is what. Hmm. Okay, okay. Just have to be patient about this. Do I kill a Johnny? I think I kill a Raptor here. Pop this. Oh, yeah. That's a misplay from me. Is it? You have to jump here. Okay. Yeah, I think this is game. The drown is basically dead. Hmm. Yeah, we lose here. GG's. First is kinda rough. Opponent goes first. No companions. This is a good hand. Okay. Show and tell, huh? Wait, what? Okay, let's just check our first draw. Okay, we want a brainstorm. Push is going to be dead here. We're gonna look for Cling to Dust aggressively. Don't want another land. I don't think I need to hold up a counter spell here. This is a particularly hard matchup since this relies on shifting woodland to go off. Okay, so let's start with the brainstorm. So much lands. Going for Watery Grave, I guess. Time to discard some cards. Okay, going to have to Bowmasters here. Start off with a Treasure Cruise. Perfect. 3, 6, 7. So to shave off some time, 4, 7, 8. Hey, I think we're set. They tried to copy the Omni. That's why Cling to Dust is so good right now. For this matchup, we want Flute. Do we want Hearse? Maybe. I think it's too slow, but let's try. Surgical Extraction. Demonic Tutor. Push is bad here. Chthonian Nightmare does absolutely nothing. Drown is pretty close to getting cut. I think it's just Inquisition of Kozilek. Things we need to hit are ring and other stuff. Okay, on the draw this is fine. You can Tamiyo on one, Brainstorm on two, have Spell Snare up. I wonder, oh, they are playing Bauble for Delirium. Let's see what we draw first. If this is a land, Cling to Dust. I think I'm looking for a land first before that. So let's play Tamiyo.
If you need me, I'll be in the library.
There's the Brainstorm. Seems like they're aggressively looking for a land. Okay, attack first, then Brainstorm. Oh no. Unfortunately, we're Brainstorm Loch.
I'd love to hear stories from your home. Respect the library.
We can buy some time. Hmm, let's just plus.
Think before you act.
I'll be discarding Treasure Cruise, I guess. Hmm, we're going for the Omni. Spell Pierce? Dispel. Okay, this game is over. I think I'm good with how I boarded. Let's play first. I'm going to keep this. We have Tamiyo into Brainstorm. We do lose to Chalice.
Down on the surface.
Okay, let's attack. Let's Brainstorm. Okay, perfect. Let's go down a Bowmasters and a Spell Snare.
Tell me everything you know about. Use your words.
Now we have to Spell Snare that. This slows them down a bit.
Respect the library.
Hmm. Maybe I should counter this.
Think before you act.
Okay. I would have minus to get the drown. Should be good here.
I've nearly finished my research, and you will not stop me.
Yep, let's just play a frog here. I need to end the game next turn. They can eventually overload my mana. Let's see. Show and tell, huh? I guess the play here is to I'll get the Mishra's Bauble here. Okay, so they don't have protection. You can drown. Nice. So if they had something here to interact with my counter spell, I would have played the Disruptor Flute if the show and tell resolves and name whatever is in their hand. Okay, they have Lurrus. We have this decent interaction, and Tamiyo into Brainstorm is pretty good against Boros. Okay, it's the looks like it's the mirror. Then I guess I'm going to lead with Nethergoyf. Stalker on one, looking strong. Looks like they're playing something aggressive. Hmm. Yeah, let's just attack here. I'll be proactively playing my Bowmasters here. If they have Bowmasters, they should just let this resolve. Okay, mana drain. Great. With that, we can Tamiyo Brainstorm.
I'm late for class.
Okay, let's draw into the frog.
This will be a boon to my
Plus the Tamiyo.
violence is not the answer.
Drawing a mana drain. Now we're ahead on board. We did it this way to protect ourselves from Thoughtseize. I hate this card. This card sucks without frog. Okay. Against the mirror, we want unlicensed Hearse, Bloodchief Thirst. I think they are more creature heavy, so push and push and Bloodchief Thirst are live. Unlike the control version of the mirror, you don't really want to see these, but instead you want Stern Scolding and Spell Snare. And we're on the draw, so we're not the aggressor here. We won't be grinding. We won't have time to play um the discard spells. We want Spell Snare, and let's trim down. mana drains, and a bauble. I guess two baubles. No, that's fine. For that, yep, I think this looks good. Could bring in Demonic Tutor, but I kind of doubt we'll have the time to actually tutor for something. Okay, we have Curse. As long as we can resolve this, we're pretty good. So I'll most likely be trying to bait out or try to get them to tap out for hers. A Stalker. This will just push this now. Actually, I'll push it on their turn. I don't have to do it that turn. They might spell pierce this or something. If they play a frog, we're going to Bloodchief Thirst. If not, we're just going to chill. Kinda tempted to brainstorm there. They have Stalker. We're going for the obvious Bowmasters. Let's just do this. Attack. Pass the turn. If they play out a Bowmasters of their own, okay, since they have used the push there, I'm going to brainstorm. Okay, pretty good. Let's ship back the Nethergoyf and the island. Now I'm going to draw the island. Let's play out the frog. Hmm, that's pretty scary. They're not really doing anything here. Okay, they have a push. Okay, let's surveil here. Hmm, yeah, that could be useful. Let's just eat the Bauble and the Stalker here. Play out the Nethergoyf. Kill the frog. They're getting drowned in the loch. I guess we just get Lurrus here. Maybe play out the Goyf. 1, 2, 3, 4. Apply pressure. They have to spend removal on that. They play out another frog. Okay. I think at this point, yeah, let's just think this frog. We have the spell snare. If we didn't have the spell snare, I would go for Nethergoyf, possibly attack. Exile. Let's play this. Okay. Then we have drawn. Nice games. Hey, let's play first. I think this is a pretty bad hand. Let's mulligan this. This is pretty okay. Yeah, I think I'm good with this. We can turn one flip, turn two flip, Tamiyo with the double bubble, double bubble.
Oh, how am I supposed to focus on only
Do this on their upkeep to see that they are on Omnitel. Okay, they probably don't have interaction for display. So the plan is to flip, try to win off the 20 cards that we get.
I'd love to hear stories from your home. Use your words.
I'm going to play the Delta here. I'll reserve the Inquisition for turn 2 when they do try to fetch using the Assemble. And by that time, we have Inquisition and Drown in the Loch up. You don't always need to fire up your discard spells. Okay, now I guess I'll start with Inquisition here. Get show until we can't tap out here, I think. Oh no, they don't have black mana. Okay. But anyway, let's play out the frog here.
Guidance is not the answer.
We win next turn or they We win next turn or we lose this turn. Okay. Get an island. Win off Tamiyo. Okay, show and tell. We want surgical spell pierce, flute, demonic tutor. This doesn't do anything. Push doesn't do anything. Yes, we could trim a bauble for a spell snare. Hey, pretty good hand. We have a clock. We have disruption. We have a tutor just in case. You don't want to play around a turn two show and tell. That's basically the nuts. Now you don't want to respond with Bowmasters there because they untap and play show and tell afterwards. Hmm. Now we're just going to fetch for Watery Grave, play the Bowmasters. I fetch for Watery Grave since this is an island essentially. The real problem here lies on their turn four. If they have show and tell and Veil of Summer, we probably lose. Which is why this deck is pretty good. Let's brainstorm now. Okay, flute is pretty useful here. Question is, do I go for show and tell? I don't think so. I think I managing the show and tell, and if they veil, I name Atraxa. Okay, and now I can name show and tell. Oh, looks like they have force in hand. Oh, it's just dig through time. Okay. Then next turn we go for lethal by playing Demonic Tutor. Okay, they had the veil. Let's see if they have the kill here. Okay, Atraxa. So that's the combo. I'm good with how I boarded. Let's play first. This is a fine hand. Like that's the strength of their deck. You can have hate pieces, but they can have dig through time or assemble to dig for answers. I don't want a treasure cruise. I guess another land doesn't hurt. This probably is a controversial play for some, but I like doing this at sorcery speed so that they can't react. But if they have Dark Ritual into show and tell, I lose, obviously. Okay, I'm going to reserve this Cling to Dust. Okay, I guess there was no need to do that. They kept on top. So what I'm going to do here is might be a little memey, but I think it's fine. I did that so that they don't get what's on top. Let's just brainstorm here. Okay, perfect. Or not. Let's draw into these two. Take the duress. Pretty tough. If I had another land, I would have fired a Thoughtseize. So I just need to keep the two counter spells up. You're forced to go for it here. They have to find a veil. Okay, pretty close match. Good games. You don't want to fire off the Thoughtseize early since their Veil of Summer draws them another card. So you might be put into a spot where you can't fight over two things at once, or it gets them closer to that. We're back after some games. So I think the underperformers for this run is Chthonian Nightmare, maybe Inquisition of Kozilek. I think I could have used Thoughtseize more than Inquisition at some points, but that's only for the show and tell matchup. I think the ultimately the core of the deck is pretty solid. You could probably cut down the Chthonian Nightmare for the fourth Frog if you want, or the fourth Tamiyo. It really depends on you. Personally, I don't want the fourth Tamiyo since seeing more than two Tamiyos in a game is pretty bad. And as for the sideboard, I think I'm fine with this configuration. I don't think I need another sweeper, and I think I'm fine with double Bloodshifters, and these are pretty good. So I think you can adjust the sideboard depending on how you think the match is going to play out for you. So if you have a certain play style you want to follow, you might want to adjust the permission spells. So if you want to play more at instant speed, you might want less blood shifters. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.